From LALATE headquarters in Santa Monica, this is Afternoons LALATE.
As we go into a new week, the Consumer Price Index number was released on Friday, and it shows that inflation, it went higher in the month of May. What does this mean for your money? In today's fourth stimulus check update of 2022 from the shores of Santa Monica, California, for June 12, 2022, we go over the latest details on your money. A fourth stimulus check is in every U.S. state, and later in this recording, we're going to get that incredible check for you. Every viewer of this channel generally qualifies for it. Single individual, married, with children, without children, on benefits or not. It's coming up later in this recording. But that Consumer Price Index number released on Friday was not good. It showed that the U.S. economy is suffering from higher inflation in the month of May than compared to the month of April. And in today's recording, we go over the latest details on that number and why it's important to get that fourth stimulus check that's in every U.S. state. We also saw a lot of other data going into the weekend and going into the new week. It was, of course, those raising prices of gasoline. Gasoline numbers are going up higher day after day, week after week. And why is it? Where's the solution from the White House? All the latest details on the situation of gasoline and your wallet in this recording as well. Then, the CPI is not the latest concern from the Federal Reserve. Yes, the raising up of interest rates is likely to come from Jay Powell in the next few days. That will also further implode the U.S. economy. Stagflation, recession, downward spiraling, and consumer confidence falling apart. All the latest details on that front and what's happening with the Federal Reserve. Next up is the unemployment situation, which continues to unravel. And that unemployment numbers from last Thursday were horrific. How much worse will they be today? And how much worse will they be as we go into recession? The housing market crash of 2022, the stock market crash of 22, and the recession of 2023, all featured in today's recording. But the great news is, of course, that there's a fourth stimulus check in every U.S. state. Step one, become a member. Under this video right now, join. Become a Purple Hawk, Purple Power Casino VIP, because later in this video, I'm going to get you $80,000 fourth stimulus check information that you need right now, because the economy is falling apart very quickly. And that money is available right now, and that is incredible great news, and you're not going to hear it anywhere else except on America's most loved show at the midday. It's Afternoons, and the excitement starts right now. And good afternoon, everybody. I hope you're having a beautiful day. It is June 12th, 2022 from the shores of Santa Monica, California, and it's a brand new breaking news report for a June 12th, 2022. A lot of major developing details that impact your wallet, impact your money, and impacts the future of this economy. If you're new to LA, what we cover in these videos is we cover where we are, where this economy is going. You get the breaking financial news, and you get the analysis, and you also get the money. Yes, later in this recording, I'm going to get you the data and get you the information about how to get that fourth stimulus check in every U.S. state. A fourth stimulus check is landed by executive order by Joe Biden, not by Congress, and their incredible checks are coming up later in this recording. We go into a new week with an economy certainly different than last week, but this is not a surprise. What is a surprise is the falling apart of consumer confidence. One of the most important things in an economy is the consumers are happy. And they're not happy. They are not happy. They're like a group of people at a lobster fest looking at really bad lobster shorts. It's just awful. Viewers are now not among the people who are not only unhappy, it's the American consumer. Consumer confidence fell dramatically on Friday when the Consumer Price Index number was released. What is this number? The Consumer Price Index number, CPI, is a gauge of inflation. And if inflation is higher than expected, then we have big problems. All last week, we were looking for this number to come out on Friday. And all last week, I told you what the analysts were saying. If it came in at the money or a little bit better, meaning lower, we would be good. But if it came higher, it would spook the markets. And boy, it didn't spook the markets. It scared the socks off of them because the number was out of control. No one really thought the number would ever come this high, but here we go. Back in spring of last year, I said that inflation was tracking about 8% will track at 8% in December 2021, when no one else in the American landscape of broadcasting financial news was reporting that. It came in at 8% last December. Then I said all throughout the spring months of this year, it's going to stay at 8% or track a little bit higher. And it did. So going into this Friday number, what happened? The number came in at a whopping, for the month of May, whopping 8.5%. Wall Street is looking at 8.4%, and they wanted at least 8.4% or lower. This was an absolutely horrifically bad number. The ugly trend of inflation is why the Federal Reserve is poised to raise high interest rate hikes by a half basis point in May and begin letting their bond portfolio run off, said Greg McBride, chief financial analyst at Bankrate, with that news on Friday. The Fed will be pressing firmly on the brake pedal, not just pumping the brakes. I'm not so much worried about just the Federal Reserve with this announcement of the CPI on Friday. I'm worried about you. Consumer confidence fell to its lowest levels since the start of the pandemic based upon this number. Consumers, and I got to make this very clear to you, this is viewers that do not watch financial news. This is mom and pop. This is the person on the front porch next to you. Their confidence in this economy fell to its lowest levels since they were told to go on lockdown in March of 2020 when this channel launched. This is a shocker. And consumer confidence falling apart is not good. It means less people will buy, less people will sell, and less people manufacture, and economies will fall apart. The impact was so severe that Peter Bukovar, a Bleakley Investor Group, said the following comment on Friday. It just reinforces the impact of the CPA has on the consumer psyche. That's on consumer confidence. We can just think this is going to have a negative future impact on consumer spending. Well, it's having it right now. It's just a shocking number. This is what inflation does when it's running hot as it is. The 2-year Treasury yield surged out of control to 3% on Friday. The 2-year Treasury yield is important for you because if you have any type of debts at home, they're going to cost a lot more starting today. It is things like the car loan, the flexible mortgage rate on the home, credit card debt. Yes, these interest rates are going higher. And they're not just starting there, because my prediction point is that the Federal Reserve now, based upon the CPI number, is definitely going to do 3 half basis point increases in the next 3 FOMC meetings. It's a no-brainer because going into the CPI number, I said they're going to do half quarter. Imagine a half. Oh boy. Get rid of that flexible interest rate items in that household right now, viewer. Get ready right now to get rid of it because you're not going to be able to sustain it. What you're also not going to be able to sustain is the price of gasoline. Today, going higher than ever before. And that problem we're going to touch on in just a second. Why is this so important? When we talk about the Build Back Better Act, we talk about how much wonderful checks there are in there. $50,000 to $80,000 of incredible checks in there. And how Congress is going to get it done and how Congress is going to get done before the midterm elections. But my narrative on this channel changed a little bit yesterday when I said I care so dramatically about you that I want to make something very clear. They want to get these checks out to you from the Build Back Better Act in addition to those checks that I have for you right today. $80,000 of checks right today, later in this recording. These Build Back Better Act checks, they want to get out to you before the midterm elections. And we've often said this is a great thing, and that, it's $15,000 to $80,000 of checks, and they would get them to you before you vote by mail. We talked about this a lot over this channel the last few months. But now I'm deeply concerned about you. Why? Because my narrative, my predictions, my analysis is coming very true, and I'm worried. My worry is that in September, this economy will be horrifically worse than it is right now. That's what I've been saying since February, but I didn't know if I was going to be correct again. So far, I'm batting 100 on all my financial analysis and predictions of 2020 to the present. And if that is the case, if this economy is going to be dramatically worse by September, you can't wait to September for a Build Back Better to land in your wallet. You gotta get the 4 stimulus checks I have for you today to get you from now to September, because by September, the whole situation will be dramatically different. Later in this recording, we're going to go over these 4 stimulus checks. I found them for you. Viewers back in the month of March said, LA, can you find me checks? And I found them. Massive checks. There's 3-way checks can land for you. They can land from Congress, or they can land from the states, or they can land from the act of The presidential executive order. Well, those are what those checks are, and they're coming up late in this recording. Single individual, 75,000 or less, you can get them. Married couple, 150,000 or less, you can get them. If you're on benefits, if you're on SSI, SSDI, veterans benefits or more, go get them. They're coming up late in this video. If you rent, if you own, if you have children, if you don't have children, if you have a llama, if you have an alpaca, you can go get them. I do not have alpaca stimulus. Maybe in 90 years from now, I will as well. And that is why you have to get these four stimulus checks right today. The economy is getting really bad really quickly. We have different parts of this economy that are really poor today and other parts of this economy that are getting worse. Let me tell you what's definitely going to happen to this economy in the next 90 days. Number one, consumer confidence is bad right now, the worst level since the pandemic, will be hideously much worse. It's not going to improve because the economy is going to get worse. So why would consumer confidence improve? It's not going to improve. Number two, the housing market crash of 2022 will be more pronounced. It's fully underway. I've been reporting the housing market crash since spring of this year. And what caused it? A series of events. First, it was basically the mortgage rates that caused the housing market to collapse. The mortgage rates were surged upwards because of Jay Powell and his interest rate spikes at the Federal Reserve. And no matter what anyone tells you, no matter how rich they are buying a 10, 20, 30, $40 million house, they're still going to have a mortgage. They always generally have a mortgage or have some type of interest-bearing item. And they're not going to be able to afford a 5% mortgage when it was 3% just a few months ago. But the most obvious situation why people aren't buying is because the houses are too expensive. This is where bubbles burst. If you've been with us, if you've been watching this economy since the 1990s, you've seen bubbles burst before. The housing industry is going to burst like a massive bubble because the home builders and the realtors are running on fake narratives. They thought they could raise the price of the home to offset the higher price of the labor and the material costs, and the buyer would still buy. They are not buying, and now the sellers are having to slash the prices, and they're slashing them too quickly, and yet the buyers are still not showing up. People are going to be left with homes that they cannot sell. They're going to go into foreclosure, and the buyers are not going to show up. The housing market crash of 2022 is just one of the items that are at issue that's going to be continuing worse in the next 90 days. In the next 90 days, you're going to see the Dow Jones, the NASDAQ, tech, retail, banking, and every industry except, yes, gasoline stocks, are going to go down another 20 to 30%. We're in a bear market, and a bear market means you're down 26% for the whole market, not just for the individual stock. We're already down 26%. But in a recession with a bear market, you go down 48%, and that means at the start of the recession. So if we're at 26% right now, we're going into recession in January 2023, as I predict, then that means we have to get from 26% down to 48% down between now and the next 6 months. That's a lot of falling, and it ain't going to happen in one day. What happened on Friday? Well, as soon as that CPI number came in, stocks imploded dramatically. The Dow Jones was down dramatically based upon the news, and certainly the NASDAQ, and certainly tech, and also banking. Let's look at the data right now. The Dow Jones fell nearly 900 points on Friday when that CPI number came out. 2.7% down. Then the S&P fell down 3%, 500 points. The NASDAQ down 4%. And here we go for the individual stocks. Apple down 4%, Dow Inc. down about 6.1%, Amazon down 5%. And it's not just for tech. Let's look at banking. Banking, you would think they would make more money on the higher interest rates. That's not how it works. Wells Fargo down 6%. Goldman Sachs down 5%. Boeing, of course, the aerospace company, down 5%. Housing market crash, stock market crash. What's next? The recession of 2023. In February this year, I was the only person in the American landscape of broadcasting financial news that said we're going into recession in January of 2023. In fact, no one was mentioning the word recession. In fact, every time I mentioned the R word, people looked at me and said, did he have too much caffeine? Did he have the lobster sauce too much last night? No, I do not eat lobster sauce. Or lobster teeny, or wear lobster shorts. But if that is scary enough, get ready for a recession. A recession is coming next year, and in the month of February, I said, in the next 90 days, there's a storm out to sea. The storm out to sea is going to come on land. You're going to feel the wind picking up in the next 90 days. That's also happening. And what happened after I said those comments in February? Last week, Jamie Dimon, head of JP Morgan Chase, verbatim repeated what I said months earlier. He said a hurricane is down the road and it's about to touch land. And why is it so important? In the next 90 days, you're going to see an economy that's so dramatically worse than it is right now. That's why you can't wait to get these four stimulus checks. I got you later in this video. You can't wait. What's going to happen in the next 90 days in addition to this? The labor market. The labor market fell apart in the last month. And this is where you and I, as a family on this channel, were literally doing this, shaking our heads and doing this and looking out the side of our eye and grimacing, saying, what are financial analysts doing? Financial analysts have gotten the labor market really wrong for much of this entire summer. They said the labor market is robust. No one's losing their jobs. There's no loss of work, that the American consumer has saved up stimulus. Then the American consumer has a lot of savings. Then the American consumer is spending and spending and spending. I got to tell you, all of that was wrong financial analysis, and they should be ashamed of ourselves. Let me tell you where we are in the reality of the situation. 210,000 new jobless claims last Thursday. It's a horrific number. That's higher than we were when we started the pandemic. We started the pandemic at 200,000, then we shot up to 1 million. I said we have to be at 188 to see a good number. 229 is higher than the week before. It's not good. Continued unemployment claims are over 1 million, heading to 2 million. That's not good. People are seeing massive layoffs. You, the viewer of this channel, if you're in the live chat right now, say yes or no. Do you see layoffs among your friends, families, and neighbors wherever you are? Yes or no? Next question. More or less. Do you see more or less employees working in the big box retailer stores? The answer overwhelmingly to the viewers of this channel is people are being laid off. They're not rehiring. You see sometimes almost a ghost town in the stores. And they say that people can't find jobs. Yeah. The data is delayed, and the data is for financial markets is delayed, but the eyes and ears that see it live, real time, as it happens, is you. That's what you've been reporting. This notion that people have saved up stimulus from 2020 is ridiculous. No one has saved up stimulus from 2 years ago. The concept that people are spending like it's going out of fashion. No, as Josh Brown, great financial analyst, said, you gotta wash your clothes. You gotta eat. So if you gotta buy the detergent's $2 more, what are you not gonna buy it? Of course you're gonna buy it. So to say that the consumer spending is going up, no, the products are going up, but you still gotta wash your clothes. Well, unless you're, that senator, that one senator. No names. So there you go. Oh, good. It's him again. So there you go. That is why the financial analysis is so peculiar. Build Back Better Act will get done. But I don't want you to wait around for Build Back Better Act. That's why I'm coming in hard and heavy than ever before. And the reason why I don't want you to wait around is because in the next 90 days, the other elements of this economy, we already know are going to be worse. What are they? Supply chain disruption. The supply chain disruption that is causing the inflation to go higher is not going to be fixed. No one in the White House has a solution lined up. It's not going to fix. And Jay Powell's going to raise those interest rates higher. That's not going to be helping the situation either. Then, also getting worse the next 90 days, gasoline. Gasoline has been reported on this channel since Halloween. In Halloween of last year, I told you there's 100,000 Russian troops at the Ukrainian border. I said, what are they doing there? If they invade that beautiful country, this is going to be the biggest economic story of 2022. I hope the White House has all its contingency plans lined up for the economy, because that invasion would not do well for our economy. Well, the White House at the time dispatched Janet Yellen, head of Treasury, to analyze the situation and get a contingency plan lined up for gasoline. She didn't finish her homework. She never had that contingency plan lined up. Janet Yellen, you're a disgrace. You're a disgrace. You had no contingency plan lined up for that gasoline if Putin invaded Ukraine. Now, let me make something clear to you. The President of the United States jetted out of Santa Monica, California, Santa Monica, California, on Friday. He was asked about everything you're hearing in this recording. He said, yes, we have a problem. 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 Good. He identified there's a problem. Every time he was asked, what are you doing with the situation? Basically, what is your solution? He said, we're looking at it. 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 Joe, that don't cut it anymore. It's June. That don't cut it anymore. You were telling Janet Yellen to look at it before the event happened. Then the event happened in March of 2022. Putin invaded, and you should have had the gasoline lined up. Now, let me make this very clear. He's not alone. It's the Western allies as well. Germany, France, United Kingdom. They all understood Putin's invading. Okay, so get the gasoline ready. Didn't get it ready. Then they said, let's ban some Russian oil. Yeah, let's ban some Russian oil so that there's 3.5 million barrels of gasoline missing a day. Well, there's 3.5 million barrels of gasoline missing a day. Where are you going to get it from? You're going to have it shipped by Amazon? Where are you going to get it delivered from? Target? There's a box of gasoline at the front door. Oh, thank you. You had it shipped by Prime overnight. No, where are you going to get the gasoline from? There's no solution. There is no solution. And that's why the price of gasoline you're seeing at the pump today is going to get a lot worse. It's a lot worse because all the people in leadership of all these countries are absolutely a disgrace. They're a disgrace. They got no solution lined up for a problem that's very clear. We all understand there's a problem. We don't have gasoline. Where is the solution? Let's make very clear. There's only about 5 options of where the solution is. Well, that's good. We have 5 options, then choose one of the options. There are only 5 options. And let me also make this very clear. None of the options involve the United States. None of the options involve the Keystone Pipeline. None of the options involve Texas. Why? We don't have enough gasoline in the ground. We need 3.5 million barrels a day. We can only provide a couple 100,000 out of Texas. We can only provide a couple 100,000 from Keystone. We need millions of barrels a day. We need a country that does this on a regular basis. And what are the 5 options? Venezuela. Is that an option anymore? No, it's not. The president was in Santa Monica, California, or Los Angeles this last week for a new party. I'm going to call it a party because that's all it really was. A party called the League of Americas. And he intentionally did not invite Venezuela. Okay, so I guess we're not getting gasoline for the people we exclude from the party. Who else? Brazil. Would we invite them? No. Okay, they're excellent. What do we do with OPEC Plus? Well, OPEC Plus actually had the only good statement we've heard for gasoline in the last 2 months. Last week they said they're ramping up production. Good. Did the White House react positively to the news? No. Well, the press secretary in the Oval Office basically poo-pooed it and talked about electric vehicles. Oh, come on, Joe. OPEC Plus has the gasoline. I mean, just, pander up, kiss up a little bit, and then, use some mouthwash afterwards. They have a solution, and they would increase production. We would be done. Our gasoline would be back down to $3 a gallon, and then we could deal with all the other economic problems we got to deal with. No, he didn't do that. So what is Joe Biden doing? He's going to Saudi Arabia. Okay, good. That's looking good. He's going to Saudi Arabia for oil. Well, let me tell you what's going on with that one. About a week ago, I told you he's going to Saudi Arabia, and then insiders said he's going to talk about oil. It was unofficial comment from the White House. Now, what happened last night on the tarmac here in Santa Monica? If you want to get the news, you go to Santa Monica. On the tarmac in the airport in Santa Monica, yeah, it's a municipal airport. They asked the President of the United States, are you going to Saudi Arabia for the oil? Give that person a biscuit. They finally asked the question we've been wondering for 2 weeks. His answer, no. Okay, Joe. Why are you going there? I'm going for security. And oil, no, just for security. Well, here we go. Who's the security for? Brian D.C., as we want to throw some eggs at him. So, as we, Brian D.C., as we want to just, look at him crazy. Because Brian D.C. met with the oil executives last week, ExxonMobil. And his meeting was not confirmed by the White House, and the White House would not announce whether the person had actually had any substantive conversation about gasoline. Brian D.C., it's just egg on your face. Joe Biden, it's frying like a hot pair of eggs out in the LA summer at 90 degrees. There's no solution for the gasoline. And if there's no solution for the gasoline, guess what's going to happen? It's going to go higher. How much higher, LA? Well, this is where it gets a little complicated. How quickly will it go higher, and how high will it plateau out? I have data, and these people know a little bit more than I do when it comes to gasoline. I just think they think the situation is going to get solved sooner than I think it is. Let me tell you what they say. They think it's going to tap out at about $6 a gallon, U.S. domestic average, AAA. And here are the comments from Patrick DeHaan, head of petroleum analysis at Gas Buddy. Wonderful website. I don't think it'll eclipse 550. I think the top is 525, but the market's unhinged. I disagree. I think it's going to 10. I think it's going to $10 a gallon. U.S. domestic if there's no solution. The international price of Brent crude, which is a different type of analysis, that's the price of gasoline for everyone internationally. That's an easier thing to predict, 185. We have enough banks like JP Morgan chasing 185. I believe it's going to go to 185, which I think it's really about a $10. If you want to know the benchmark, it's currently about 123. It surged from 117 last week to 123. So $60 more up on that. How much is it at the pump? Well, here we go. Janet Yellen then threw Joe Biden under the bus. Is it getting better? Yeah, it's getting better. Joe Biden, when asked about the gasoline problem at that Santa Monica airport, says, yeah, we have a problem. The problem is Putin. Okay, we got that, Joe. And then he says the real problem at hand and that needs to be fixed is price gouging by the U.S. Gasoline companies. Janet Yellen was asked this question last week, and she said the president's economically incorrect. She said there is no price gouging, and she said that's not what's causing the rise of the gasoline. I mean, it's ridiculous, Joe. I mean, obviously it's incorrect because the price of gasoline is going up because the international price of gasoline is going up. ExxonMobil is not driving up the price of gasoline internationally. It doesn't make any sense at all. When asked about the situation by Joe Biden, when asked about the situation at the Santa Monica airport, Joe Biden said, why don't you tell the ExxonMobil executives what their profits were this quarter? Exxon's making more money than God this year. Well, at least someone is. Yeah, I mean, no one's making money this quarter. Thanks to you. Wow. Is that correct? No. Janet Yellen says that's all incorrect. So she needs to bring the president back into a meeting. Say, Joe, you know what? Stop talking about ExxonMobil. Stop talking about Putin. We already know there's a problem. Get some gasoline. Pick up the phone and ask Venezuela, do you want to go dance with me? Do you want to go, how do you do a deal with Venezuela? You invite Miss Venezuela to the meeting. You invite all the previous Miss Venezuelas. Just invite them all. I mean, don't they all live in Los Angeles now? All the previous Miss Venezuelas have moved to Los Angeles and Miami and New York, haven't they? I just invite all the Miss Venezuelas to the meeting and say, hey, we need to deal with Venezuela. Can you do the thing where you sort of wave? Say, deal, no deal, deal, no deal. Miss Venezuela. Can you broker the deal? I know Miss Venezuela can broker the deal for us. If she cannot do it, then who could? Miss Venezuela, the whole world depends on you and your policy and your political platform on other great substantive issues. So get her in there because we need the gasoline. Iran was a potential, but I don't know what happened with that one. That was the JCPOA. What I do know is that, breathe. There is a stimulus check in every U.S. state. You don't need Miss Venezuela to get you that check. You just need me, Mr. Venezuela. No, I'm not running for a beauty pageant anytime soon. I got you that forced stimulus check in every U.S. state, and thank goodness it's there. Thank goodness it's there, and it's monstrous. It's up to $80,000. In the second half of this video, I got the great news for you today. A forced stimulus check is in every U.S. state, and while this economy is falling apart in the next 90 days, while this economy is going into recession in 2023, this check is available today. And viewers are getting it, and you're going to get it as well. Stay with me in the second half. We're going to go over all those incredible checks in every U.S. state. What do you got to do? You got to do two things. First, stay with me for the second half. Second, go into this video and subscribe. And number three, become a member. Subscribe to this channel. You don't want to miss a single video. This is America's most watched show at the midday, and also America's third most watched financial news channel, America. But soon, we have breaking news on that coming up later as a recording. We're heading to number 2. Become a member. Go into this video, hit that join button, and get that incredible newsletter Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. In that newsletter is that forced stimulus check in every U.S. state, and their monster checks. We're going to go over all those incredible checks in the second half of this recording. But first, here's a little bit about the members community page and all of their wonders and deliciousness. I'll see you back in 60 seconds as Afternoons LALATE for June 12, 2022 continues. If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.lalate.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. They're Facebook,
Twitter and Instagram individuals, reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join LALATE Daily for the excitement of the new LALATE live daily. The excitement starts on Mornings LALATE at 9 a.m. Home LALATE returns at 11 a.m. daily. And then afternoons LALATE at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica on LALATE.
And the excitement continues right now for June 12th, 2022 from the shores of Santa Monica, California. I hope you're good. You know, it's a little bit hot here today, but hopefully it'll cool down. The humidity was atrocious on Friday. Hope the weather's good where you are. In this big second half of Afternoons LA, we're going to go over those 4 stimulus checks in every U.S. state. There are different ways to get stimulus checks. One is by Congress, one is by the president, the other one's by the states. And in the second half, I have checks for you from the president by executive order and from the states. A forced stimulus check, not just one, but multiple of them, is in every U.S. state. And I found them. If you're new to this channel, this is what we do on this channel. I deliver you the financial analysis of where the market is, where the market's going, and in the second half, we get checks. And I deliver you these checks, not just report on the checks. I show you how to get these incredible checks. Back in the month of March, viewers said to me, LA, can you find us some stimulus checks? Because this Build Back Better Act is taking forever. And I did. I looked high and low. I gave them a lettering system. A, check B, check C. You're not going to hear this anywhere else. You're not going to see these checks anywhere else in the landscape of the American public. And moreover, I specifically look for checks that virtually all of you qualify for. Eligibility is so important. So here is the eligibility. Single individual, $75,000 or less, go get it. Married couple, $150,000 or less, go get it. If you're on benefits, SSI, SSDI, veterans benefits, go get it. Rent, own with children, without children, go get it. And these incredible checks start with 2 steps: subscribing to this channel and becoming a member. The member link is under the video where it says join here. Join as a Purple Hawk, Purple Power, Calcino VIP to get that incredible newsletter, because I'm going to go over those checks and that newsletter and the featuring of those checks in the newsletter right now. Those incredible checks start with Check A. It's a wonderful $6,500 to $12,000 sports stimulus check in every U.S. state. Single individual, $75,000 or less, go get it. Married couple, $150,000 or less, go get it. And if you're on benefits, SSI, SSDI, go get it. It's called the Homeowners Weatherizing Grant Check. How do you get it? Step 1, subscribe to this channel. Step 2, become a member. Go right down in the membership newsletter, delivered Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, to members only, and look for that incredible Check A. Where you find that Check A, there's a link. That link will send you into the nationwide website. You choose your state, and then you choose the Homeowners Weatherizing Grant, and you pounce. Turnaround time, averaging right now, is about 1 week. Then you're not going to stop with there. You're going to go get Check B. Check B is a monster check, $15,000 to $80,000 check. Viewers on average are averaging about $66,000 to $80,000. It's a forced stimulus check in every U.S. state. Single individual, $75,000 or less, go get it. Married couple, $150,000 or less, go get it. It's called the Homeowners Grant Check. How do you get it? Step 1, become a member. Step 2, go down that membership newsletter until you find Check B. And there it is. Click the link when you find Check B. It sends you into the nationwide website. Then you choose your state and you go in and apply. Rounding times is about 1 week at the moment. Now, the incredible Check C you're also going to get as well, especially if you're a renter. Yes, this is for renters. Check C is the residue or the remainder of what we called on this channel in December 2020 as purple. Then it became third stimulus. And this money is actually the leftover of third stimulus, but I put in this recording so it's easier for you to follow. Check C is for rent, utilities, mortgage assistance, and more. It's a $2,000 a month average check for an average of 12 months, but many viewers have gotten a lot more. Many viewers have averaged about $45,000. How do you get this incredible check? See, step 1, subscribe. Step 2, become a member, and then go down that membership newsletter to find Check C. For Check C, you are not applying online, you're making phone calls, about 15 of them. I explain who you call, what you say, and where you say it. You're going to make about 15 phone calls, and you're going to get a lot of money. The money for Check C dates back to December 2020. And on average, the viewership of the channel has gotten about 45,000. Why have viewers done so well with Check C? Because Check C revolves around a skill set, as does Check A and B. It involves listening and doing what's mentioned in the recordings verbatim. Not a version of it, but verbatim. Here we go when we look at the rent. Look at these monster sums of rent that viewers have gotten. Niecy, 20,000, all the way up to Elizabeth for 27,000. Would you like that money for your rent? I bet you would. Go get it. How about the utilities? Would you like this? Well, Mark's brother-in-law got 15,000. Would you like $25,000 a year for SNAP? Well, that's what Mark's brother-in-law is getting because of this channel. Over 10 years, $250,000. Here's Niecy. Here's Mark. Let's talk about them and their combos. They've got multiple items, but they listen to my recordings where I say go back and get money every few days continually. They've not stopped. This is a graphic from late fall of 2021. Niecy's now at about 50,000. Mark is at about $166,000 because they keep on going back. Niecy gets about $8,000 every few days or every few weeks. Mark was at 32,000, then went to 50,000, then went to 100,000, then got Check B, went to 166. Lorraine, she was at 105, and now she's at 120. It all involves reminding oneself to keep on pouncing and getting these sums of money. These incredible sums of money start on this channel and continue with membership. Subscribe right now under the video, then become a member. The link is under the video where it says join now and become a Purple Hawk, Purple Power Calcino VIP. Make sure you set the bell on the front of this channel and make sure that bell is set to all notifications. That bell set to all notifications will then send you a notification when the newsletter is delivered Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time via the YouTube alerts. Remember, it's Pacific Standard Time. So if you're the East Coast, the alert comes at 10 o'clock. If you're the Midwest, it may be 9 o'clock. The alert says new LA post from YouTube. And then you go down in it and it says the LA newsletter. And then it says click here to read the post. You go into the post, and that is the incredible newsletter. Now, why is it so important to get these stimulus checks now than ever before? Because of the state of the economy. And I know the viewer, and I know the subscriber, and I know the economy better than anyone else. You know when the least amount of viewership was ever for this channel? It was the week after people got a second stimulus check. Yeah, because people got a check, they said, I'm good. I'm good. I just got a check. I don't need to watch anything because the check's going to tide me over to, I haven't thought about that. That's what they did. I mean, you get a check and you think, I'm good. I'm good. I don't have to look for any more stimulus because, $1,200 will last me till, oh, well, I'm not going to think about that. I'm not going to do that analysis yet. The viewership of this channel is surging. The membership of this channel is surging in the last few days. This weekend was one of the most watched weekends for viewership of this channel. Why? Because the number one story in broadcast media right today is not sports. It's not entertainment. It's the economy. It's the economy. People now understand that something's going wrong with this economy very quickly. This is not February 2022. February 2022, the perception was we're all good. We're going to spend. We're going to buy hotels and airfare and just fly and travel and spend. And we got a job. And if we lose a job, we can go back to the employer and ask for a raise or go down the street. There'll be another job. Imagine how different this economy is. Now, this economy right now, you may consider it as hard to gauge, a little bit unstable, a little bit uncertain. 90 days from now, it's going to be horrific. Horrific. When I mean horrific, I mean it's going to be atrocious. It's going to be an atrocious economy. How bad will the economy be for you? It will probably be as bad as it's ever been for the history of the channel. It will probably be, and this is the first time I'm really giving you a comparison because I don't think I've ever done this before. I think it helps. I think the economy in 90 days from now will be basically as bad as it was when you were on lockdown. I think that's about as bad. Now, everyone was affected differently with the lockdown. Some business owners were, about to lose everything, homes and cars. But I think it's basically be as bad for the average viewer as it was when we started lockdown. That's how bad it's going to be in 90 days from now. But LA, you say that it's going to be worse after that. Yeah. The recession of 2023 will be worse than that. So worse than the lockdown? Absolutely. The recession of 2023 is going to be astronomically worse than the lockdown. Astronomically worse than the lockdown. You have to understand, a recession is once in a generation economic event. It's a horrible event. It's a horrible event. And what's going on right now is consumer confidence is falling apart, and American consumers now, and I'm talking about mom and pop, I'm not talking about, neighbor on the front porch. I'm not talking about people who watch this channel or any financial news. They think this is the recession. That's what's scary. Why is that scary? Not for you, but for this economy. Because they think this is as bad as it's going to get. Oh, no. No. There are three stages, I guess you could call it. There's this stage, which is sort of, coming into the paddock. There is, yeah, I'm using the horse analogy. Belmont 6. It's sort of like coming into the paddock. What is in 90 days from now? Well, you're getting ready to go into the gates, and then what's the recession of 2023? You're going around the track and you're getting cut off. Yeah, that's how we have three stages, and we're just at the earliest stage, which is not as bad as it's gonna get. 200,000 unemployment claims. What's going to be? Unemployment's going to go up. What's going to happen in the next 90 days? We know, guaranteed, the following things are going to happen in the next 90 days. The housing market crash of 2022 is going to be a lot worse. Stock market crash is going to be a lot worse. We already know unemployment numbers are going to surge. We know that if you have a job, you may get laid off, and may not be able to find another job. Oh, by the way, I haven't talked about this one. The salary raises, kiss that goodbye. Kiss that goodbye. People thought that they could gouge employers. That is going to go away. So if you're an employer and you're tired of being gouged, yeah, no one is going to be able to gouge an employer for a salary raise or a hiring bonus or anything like that in 90 days. They're going to be happy there's that job. What else is going to happen? Those interest rates are going to be through the roof. 3 interest rate spikes of 50 basis point. Ouch. Mortgage rates through the roof. The 2-year treasury note. The bond yields are going to be dramatically up. All this is horrible, horrible economic news. And in the next 90 days, we're just coming into September. Yeah, we're just coming into September. So this is why my love for you is so pronounced. If I didn't have love for you, I'd say, yeah, let's talk about the Build Back Better Act. It's good. It's great. It's going to come. It's going to come. And, it's coming soon and will come. But if I said that means I don't really care about you, because I would basically be saying, hey, Build Back Better Act is coming in September. And, I don't know, eat ramen noodles by then. Yeah, wait a second. You may not survive by September without stimulus. And so that is why you were smart, because you always are. You always are the smartest viewers that are on the web, the smartest viewers in the streaming space. You said in March, we got a problem. You didn't wait. You were on the ball on this one. You were on top of the toes on this one. You said, LA, it's March. Get us some money. Get us some money now. I know there's money in March, and you were brilliant in doing that because the economy was pretty good in March, except with inflation. Putin had not invaded Ukraine yet. I think it was late March. I can't remember. But you said, get the money right now. You asked me to do it before Putin invaded Ukraine. And I found it. And you may be pounced. A lot of viewers got the 66,000 in 1 week, or in that 1 week that it went live. I went live with the information. I think we have the graphic here. I think it was March 31st, April, and then the second check I think was March 4th, and then the one after that was for April 4th or April 5th. You didn't wait, and you got that money right away. Now, we have a new say on this channel. Save a cactus, get a stimulus. Save a cactus, get a stimulus. It came out of my narrative last week where I laughed, where I said, you know what? If there's someone in the live chat that says, there's no money in my state, there's no money for this, there's no money for people who have red hair, there's no money for people who you wear yellow shirts, there's no money for people who have surfboards. You know what? I gave up with those people. Those people just love to hug a cactus. So go hug a cactus. Go hug your cactus. And guess what? In 90 days from now, that cactus ain't going to be hugging you back. I can't help those type of people, because guess what? In 90 days from now, you're going to have checks and they won't. You're going to have checks and they won't. And I don't know what they're going to do. I really don't care what they're going to do. I care about you. You're going to get the checks now. And those people that say, there's no money in Oklahoma, there's no money in, whatever state they want to do today, Michigan or Pennsylvania, all that craziness. There's check A in every state. There's check B in every state. There's check C in every state. And I'm going to get you more checks as time goes on. There's checks in every state. And you need to get those checks today and get them on a regular basis. You start today with $800. Check C, you can get checks in 24 hours. You get $800 a day, then the next day you get $5,000. The next day after that, you get $10,000. Day after that, you get $900. The day after that, you get $600. You keep on doing this. This is a regular effort by you. And those checks are available right now. You don't wait, because the landscape of the American economy is that it's going to be a lot worse. And as it's a lot worse, a lot of people are going to be asking for a lot of the money, and a lot of people will be taking the money, and the money is going to be gone. And what else is going to happen in the next 90 days? In the next 90 days, you're going to see a new look to LALATE. You're going to see a new look, not a production look, but a whole new look from a programming standpoint. You've always demanded more, and you've always just demanded more up-to-dates, and you demanded more interactivity and more content by the minute, by the hour. And you are going to get it delivered to you. LALATE is going from number 3 most watched financial news channel in America to number 2. We're going after it. We need your help. We need you to help bring this to the number 2 most watched financial news channel in America. And I don't mean YouTube. I mean in all platforms. Streaming is our platform, but we can do it with streaming. We're going for number 2. So we need you to subscribe. We need you to tell your friends and families to come on over. It's free to subscribe. And then if you want stimulus, then become a member. Click the link under this video and become a member. The news that you see on this channel, it takes hours and hours of research every day and hours of analysis and predictions by the minute. And no one has had the financial analysis correct than I since 2021. That's why you're in a better state than other people across the land. Subscribe to this channel, become a member, get the incredible newsletter. And tonight on Evenings LA, we have a big show at 5 o'clock. A big show at 5 o'clock. It's brand new for June 12th, 2022. From the shores of Santa Monica, California, God bless. Stay informed, stay focused. Become a member. Go right into that video right now. Hit that join button. Become a Purple Hawk, Purple Power Casino VIP. Get these big checks from the stimulus. And I'll see you tonight on Evenings.